We are starting something new on KGET Plus, a community book club. Our staff here has started with reading the book The Women by Kristen Hanna. Now, if you're not familiar with it, back in 1965, the world was changing. The main character in this book, Frances "Frankie" McGrath, impulsively joins the Army Nurse Corps to follow her brother to war. As green and inexperienced as the men sent to Vietnam to fight, Frankie is overwhelmed by the chaos and destruction of war, as well as the unexpected trauma of coming home to a changed and politically divided America. So joining us in studio to talk more about PTSD, which is such a heavy topic of this book, we have clinical psychologist Dr. Gonzales. Thank you so much for stopping by. And whether viewers have read this or not, I wanted to talk to you about PTSD because I feel like it wasn't a term that we knew or even recognized back in the Vietnam War era. Is that correct?
That's true. We used to historically call it shell-shocked back in the day. Vietnam was different. And I see a lot of veterans evaluate them for their benefits. They were treated differently when they came home. The public wasn't real supportive of this war. They were divided about it. Therefore, when they got back, they didn't get the normal support that previous wars got. And they were treated differently. They were called names. It was also a different economy. Things were tough at that time. There was a lot of unemployment. You look back to World War II, came back ticker tape parades. The economy was booming. There were heroes. People came back from Vietnam. It was different. And they did not, when you go through a trauma, it's helpful to get support, to be debriefed. I worked for LA County Sheriff's Department for a while. Every time an officer is involved in a shooting, we debriefed them as mandated. So you get that support, it helps ameliorate some of the long-term effects of PTSD.
I think that's so important. And this book, again, doesn't use that phrase because it wasn't common at the time, but it talks about how Frankie, as a nurse in Vietnam, is hearing the bombs falling around their U.S. camp, and she just keeps working. She keeps doing the surgeries. She keeps triaging the soldiers. And it's not until she comes home months later that she starts dealing with the fear of the explosions, the fear of dying. Why is that post-traumatic stress disorder? Why wasn't she scared at the time?
Well, I think in a lot of situations, you put your emotions on the back burner, you focus on survival. And a lot of times when you get out of that situation, things kind of resurface. And we see this a lot with our veterans, actually. When they slow down in life, these things can surface up and they have to deal with these things. But when you're in a situation where you fear for your life, you're seeing death, you're fearing for your life, all these things can have residual effects. It lights up the back brain. The limbic system gets lit up, and pretty soon you're hyper-aroused. You're having intrusive thoughts, you're thinking about these things, recollections, you have avoidance of certain topics, feelings, stimuli associated with it. You're hyper-aroused, you're hyper-vigilant, you're startled easily, you're reckless. We see a lot of substance abuse, and it causes impairment where it's affecting your social life or it's affecting your work life. It's hard to regulate yourself because that fight or flight switch is damaged. It's going off all the time. So it's very important that we understand what's going on and find tools to help manage it, how to slow that down, how to slow your breathing down, how to do cognitive restructuring, how to get with other people that have been through this, say, what's normal? How did you cope? And so a lot of these veterans coming together is really helpful, particularly, the women. The women have different things, and I've been evaluating a lot of veterans. A lot of women coming in with military sexual trauma as well. And so it's a very personal thing. So it's very important that we, address these things, help people manage these things. These people put their lives on the line for us, and we need to be there for them.
So beautifully said, Dr. Corey. And sadly, we're out of time. I need to have you back and we'll talk about this for half an hour. But we're just starting a new book club. If you would like to read along with us, we'll be taping in the next week or two, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on this book. But also, Dr. Corey and I wanted you to know that if you are dealing with thoughts of self-harm, if you are struggling, please call the national hotline 988. There is crisis support 24/7. There's local support. It's completely anonymous, but there's someone here in town who knows everything that's going on in Bakersfield and Kern County and can help you process through it.
Absolutely, very important.
Thank you so much, Dr. Corey.
Always a pleasure.